Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Traigunya Bhavajana, Nitvandho, Nitya Sattvasto, Nidyoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Oh Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Transcendental to the modes, free from dualities, anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Amazing instructions. I mean, these are like life changers. You can try to follow this. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results. Fruitive results means for some for kama karma, for some sense gratification, which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Okay, so this requires some explanation. So the Vedas actually have three parts, right? So mainly there's Karma Kanda, Gnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. Karma Kanda, there are all these fruitive activities that are recommended. Do this yagna, do that yagna, etc. Right? So what is the idea of this? The idea of this is that to raise people from vikarma, which is things that are not approved by Shastra, raise them from that platform to the platform of doing things which are accepted or allowed in the Vedas, right? So that is the first step, from basically non-cultured to uncultured to cultured. Now then and of course vikarma is also about happiness, trying to get happiness in this life, right? And it is considered as greed, sinful, etc. But Vedas don't recommend us to do anything to improve our standard of life in this life. It is only meant for improving standard of life in the next life, the next birth. But they are actually, the idea of Karma Kanda is to, when in Karma Kanda there are rules and regulations. So people cannot simply whimsically engage in sense gratification or, engage in activities for sense gratification. So what happens is people become regulated. Regulated means, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, means I won't do it. So they adhere to this, then come under authority, they become disciplined. All these are very important, right? And this happens for those who are following the Vedas. And then the idea is to slowly bring them to the position on the transcendental plane. So first, from traditionally, people move from karma to karma yoga to gnana, not karma yoga, karma to gnana, and then finally they come to bhakti. Now, so the idea of these fruitive activities is not to simply indulge people in some sense gratificatory activities. The idea is to purify them, discipline them, and slowly raise them to a higher platform. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental portion of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jignasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. So now here the advice is not to raise from, okay, you're in Rajoguna as a Kshatriya, raise to Sattva Guna. No. Directly Krishna is saying transcend the modes, like long jump. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom, advising how to live and get rid of material entanglement. We'll discuss in third chapter. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads. So, like Upanishads are which are part of different Vedas. So all the Vedas have 4 parts, and one of them is Upanishads, which is where the transcendental spiritual knowledge is given. As the Bhagavad Gita is part of the 5th Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. Okay? As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of difficulties. Very important statement. One has to learn tolerance in the face of difficulties such as happiness and distress, cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This is a very, very important statement. When we tolerate difficulties, right, dualities, we become free from anxieties. If we don't tolerate, we cannot become free from anxiety regarding gain or loss. So, if we are too anxious about material things, that means that we have lack of tolerance. So, we have to become more tolerant. If you become more tolerant, the idea of tolerance is, suppose you have a headache. You are not looking for an immediate solution. You are not looking to pop a crocin into your mouth. Right? So you will tolerate the headache. It's okay. Then there is no anxiety about your pain. I'll say it's okay. It will go. But one who is not tolerant, oh, immediately, okay, this happened. Okay, I need this remedy. That happened. Something else I have to do. I can't just, if there's a problem, it requires immediate solution. Not required. Not every problem is urgent. So this tolerance is so important that because people are intolerant today, they are also too anxious. Their anxiety levels are generally very high because their tolerance level is very, very low. These two are inversely proportional. Tolerance is low, anxiety is generally high. Tolerance is high, anxiety is low. This is a matter of practical application, very, very critical one. And of course, Prabhupada is saying how to achieve this. This transcendental portion is achieved in full Krishna consciousness. One is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. So if we are fully Krishna conscious, then we don't have to, it automatically these qualities will be there because it's fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Right? So what is the need for anxiety? No need for anxiety. Right? So automatically one will become more tolerant, no anxiety because it's dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Right? So that is why Krishna consciousness, practice of Krishna consciousness is the easiest way to get over all kinds of material anxieties, problems, etc., etc. Problems meaning not solutions as such, just problems, as in we are not affected by the problem so much, though the problems might exist. So the two things to be done here, right? One is to engage in Krishna conscious activities. Second is to just still tolerate whatever is happening to us. Just tolerate. Don't tolerate things that are happening against the Lord, against devotees. That we don't have to tolerate. But we have to tolerate things that are pertaining to ourselves. Very, very. These verses are all like super powerful. Every time you have to remember, I have to transcend the modes. I should be free from all anxieties for gain and safety. See, this gain and safety, we are always planning for the future. I'll do this, I'll do that, I will, this, that, so that, tomorrow I have to have some gain, I have to be safe, this, that, and all that. Of course, it's not like we are living in a material world, so we have to do things that are generally required to be done, but not become too anxious for these things. For example, say somebody might buy a medical insurance, which is okay. Something that is required because to live in this city, in this material world, these things are required. But not become too anxious about, what will happen to my future, what will happen to my health in the future, or who will take care of me. These are not required. Anxieties are not required. Just do duty, whatever is required. based on situation. That's it. And be free from dualities. There's so many devotees, oh, it's too hot, it's too cold. No, we should tolerate. Okay, if it is too hot. Okay, if it is too cold. Oh yeah, if somebody cannot tolerate too much cold, okay, then we can wear some shawl or some sweater or whatever, right? But not like, oh, cold consciousness, the Krishna consciousness. Very important. Generally, we should not be stuck in goodness also. This is another important thing actually. Many times we see devotees are stuck in goodness. What is goodness? Oh, I have to do the right thing. Yeah, you have to do the right thing, obviously. But we should also do things on the platform of bhakti, not just on the platform of goodness. So sometimes we are stuck in the platform of goodness and we forget what it is to act actually in Krishna's pleasure. We just think in terms of good and bad, but we don't think in terms of Krishna's pleasure and Krishna's lack of pleasure. Very, very, very important. Any thoughts? Anybody has any clarification?
Just wanted to understand this point deeper. Prabhupada mentioned that we should tolerate the dualities. So happiness and distress, these are two dualities.
Yeah.
So tolerance of distress is understood because we need to wait till the mercy of the Lord comes. How to understand how to tolerate happiness? Is it like some people go little crazy when they get some wealth and become like Hiranyakashipu? Is that the understanding? Which is they are
Yeah.
not able to control the happiness, or
Yeah, control the happiness. Even like, for example, say whatever, something good happened, and we are generally very suddenly our mood improves. Like, before the news and after the news is like two different worlds, right?
yeah,
That means that we are just carried away by happiness, right? So it's like, it should be like, okay, okay, some very good news. Oh, okay, Krishna's mercy. That's it. No excitement about material things,
yeah,
right? We should not be excited about material things. But the same thing, for example, okay, some preaching program, something happened, something, yeah, excitement should be there because it's for Krishna. It's not like devotees are like, oh, no life, no rasa, no nothing, no. But not material. Why? Because we know if happiness comes, we are jumping up and down. Distress comes, we just go down. Badly go down.
yeah,
Right? So both have to be tolerated. You have to tolerate because natural propensity is to jump up and down. So if we tolerate, then we will, like control ourselves and be sober. And first of all, be Krishna conscious and understanding that, okay, it is not by my effort, so why am I getting excited? It's Krishna's mercy. Right? And there also we should feel obliged to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, I'm worthless, but I don't know why you have given me this.
yeah,
Mercy. So, because if we are too excited, if we are too, going down, etc., that means that in those situations, Krishna is not there in the picture at all for us. Right? So how do we bring Krishna into the picture? Become sober about the situation, so that we can think about Krishna, remember him.
yeah. Okay.